Lordy, lordy, lord. How are we doing, boys and girls? How are we doing? Good morning, good morning. You ever know that feeling when you have a couple of days off and you feel like you could do with a couple of days off to recover from your days off? Exactly how I feel right now. Coffee good. Coffee good. Tunes down just a touch. How are we doing, boys and girls? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody had a good weekend. To be fair, I did kind of have a relatively relaxing 3 days. I wouldn't say I'm totally ready to get back first thing on a Monday morning, but it's all good. Coffee in hand is much needed this morning, so welcome in. In fact, it's very dark in here. What is the curtains closed? Natural light. Proper natural light. Spa day? Not quite a spa day. We were at our summer place, but with it being midsummer, I might have accidentally drank way too much. Ready for the pool, I see. I am kind of in summer. I'm in summer mode now. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely in summer mode. Where's my mouse gone? Here's my mouse. Right, we got some catching up to do, boys and girls. We've got some catching up to do. It feels like it's been ages since I spoke with you lot. There's hopefully going to be a new beta build this week because tailoring and inscription is completely busted to the point that you can't test it, can't do nothing with it. I don't know if they've hotfixed it over the last few days, but yeah, tailoring inscription totally broken. I put cooking first look video out yesterday, so even though I was technically not here, I planned ahead because I'm a smart goblin. But today, I don't know what the plan is for today. I want to utilize this little level 80 character that we made, and I just want to sort of just chip away and see what is a thing at level 80. Now, of course, a huge amount of it, more so than anything, is going to be getting into that sort of like, right, what is your daily rotation? What are the things you should be doing each and every day? Every day this seems to pop up, and I haven't worked out whether this is a weekly quest or a daily quest or what. Do we want to do some world quests? Do we want to go do the stone vault? Getting into dungeons is sometimes a bit tricky. This feels very much complete world quests. How many world quests? 5 world quests in Kazalgar, 2 special assignments completed. What does it consider special assignments? Okay, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Veteran Gear weekly quest. Is this what it looks like? Okay, we can work with that. I want to start figuring out what these pinnacle caches do.
Directive.
Right, what are you? Vault on memory. Find some Titan disk fragments.
May the glad you comply.
Progress further into the campaign to unlock the archives. Okay, do we need to do the level 80 campaign then, maybe? Some people are saying it was really short as well, actually.
What can I do for you?
Oh. Your warband previously completed this quest. Speak to the festival tailspinner in any horde. Oh, well, Midsummer's live and up and running in the game as well, apparently. Midsummer Fire Festival is up. Presumably that means it's up in retail as well, isn't it? Does that mean it comes with the XP bonus? Be fair, if you're leveling alts you should be doing it in Remix. Thinking about it. What else can we find? What else can we stumble across? I'm kind of half thinking that we should pick up Jewel and Crap. Ooh, what are you? Oh, holiday enthusiast. You're the same. Okay.
See you soon.
Gotta find those new random quests. Got an old pally from 66 most of the way to 70 just flying around doing the midsummer stuff. Yeah, might be something to look at doing. I think I've done most, if not all of it, on retail. I don't think there's much for me to do in that regard. Delves, Kazalgar Research. Where's that quest?
Inquiring minds just go.
Is it daily or weekly?
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Complete 3 delves in Kazalgar. Okay, for Pinnacle Cash as well.
I'll go ahead.
Maybe we bang out a couple of delves then first thing this morning. Go grab some renown rewards, presumably off these fellas. The fact that all of these guys line up is quite nice. Oh, there's a couple of new transmogs to collect as well from the event. Yeah, I should probably check my all the things progress. Be nice to finally put that event to bed. Bountiful Delves template. It says there's a quest available, but there isn't a quest available. There is, I don't know where I get it from. Right, couple of delves then, I guess, to start. Let's go. Oh, what's this? Special assignment Titanic Resurgence. Complete 3 world quests in the Isle of Dawn to unlock it. Interesting. Bountiful Delve. Let's go do the Bountiful Delve. Yeah, this weekend was nice and chill. Plenty of time spent in the sun. Some good food. Nice and refreshing. Just what was needed, really. So that we can dive back into this and get some good progress bashed out. Bountiful Delves have a better chance of chests at the ends if you use your coffer keys on them. I should have a couple of these. We've got... Oh, you need 100 fragments to make one. Restored coffer key. Where did it go? It says I've got 5 of them. Okay. Their currency? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Any good alt farm yet? Literally everything. Literally everything is a potential alt farm because of the way concentration and the way that the professions work. There is every single recipe has the ability for you to use concentration on it to guarantee yourself max quality crafts at a cheaper rate. Literally anything. It's not like I guess it's not a farm in that regards, but you don't have to, you can just have all of your characters standing around. They can craft a handful of things every day, and you log them off.
Speak and
It should. Oh, okay, no quest rewards. Passage to the Ringing Deeps. You have our thanks for everything you did in the Isle of Dawn. Council Ward Merrick's offered the restoration of this elevator unit to further support our allies to ensure we're not fully cut off again. Use it to quickly travel back and forth to the Ringing Deeps. Oh, nice.
return if you wish to speak again.
Is it just literally an elevator? Oh, that's quite cool. Oh, so this is just cheeky little portal. Yeah, the TLDR is that alts are going to have an absolute blast because alts are going to have... You can level up a profession and spec into something on that alt, and then you can craft a small amount of them using your concentration every day and win very quickly, very easily. I wonder if World Quest Tracker add-on works yet. Should we do an update on add-ons? The favourite thing I've discovered so far in the beta. Favourite thing I've discovered in the beta. I mean, there hasn't really been like any secrets particularly. I know people are looking for the inner scoop on that sort of stuff, but there really isn't. Mostly because I'm not keeping my eyes open for that sort of stuff yet. Loot tables are not fully implemented for like for mobs and stuff. Professions are still very much work in order. We're mostly just going through it and getting a feel for how the profession plays out. Reality is it's very Dragonflight-like if you're going to be doing professions. I think they're taking the emphasis, believe it or not, I feel like they're taking the emphasis away from work orders so much, which is much appreciated. At least from a crafting perspective anyway. World Quest Tracker. World Quest Tracker, or is it World Quest List? I never know which one. Let's try. I get the feeling that didn't work. Okay. Let's go back up to the Isle of Dawn and go do that bounty. Yeah, I'm still feeling as if I don't really know the lay of the land well enough yet to like have really discovered or found stuff. I'm not hyper aggressively looking for like secret areas and things to break and that sort of stuff. I'm more just trying to get an understanding of how things play out really, what we're going to be doing at what different points. Seeing if there's any quests that are interesting quests that we should go and definitely do. We're starting to find that some of the quests are like a lot of profession recipes seem to be hidden behind like little quest chains and stuff. So it might start to become worthwhile knowing where those are and that sort of things. I play the game very much from the professions focus. I don't really do much farming exactly. And so my eyes aren't really so wide open for that sort of stuff. Do we reckon we can do tier 3? Well, hang on, what is our gear? 540. Okay, we'll do a tier 2 then, so we don't get completely spanked.
Hello there.
Those webs will summon Nerubians. Don't stand in them.
Oh, this is the don't stand in the webs one. Duck and weave. How goes delving? I'm starting to more like delves, I think, actually. I'm starting to feel like they have that sort of like mini scenario place in the game, which is quite cool. I'm not sure just what the replayability is going to be like with delves though. I do worry that I'm going to do them a couple of times and then I'm going to be like, right, I've done these now then.
Stronger by the second.
But I'm not sure. I don't remember these crawler eggs being in here last time I played in here though. get Brand to max and then just stop kind of like plunder storms. Yeah, I wonder how much. I wonder how much of that is going to be the play, like the gameplay loop for players. How many people won't care really about what the potential fun in there, and will just be doing it for the. Because you know there's going to be achievements and stuff for getting Brand to max. And that'll mean that some people will do it regardless. Some people are so easily bought in this game, you know. Stick an arbitrary 5 achievement points at the end of doing some gross grind, and people do it just because. People are their own worst enemies sometimes. Another thing I'm tempted to do this week, actually, is level my main hunter. Again, just because he's got better starting gear. I don't want to take a slightly different approach with leveling. As I think campaign isn't going to be enough to get you to ding level 80. At least not on your first character. It might be after you've done it on a couple of characters. But it's not going to be enough on your first. And dinging level 78, I think it was, and then having only the last zone really to play in to get those last few couples of levels was quite painful. I'm thinking almost a lore master of the first zone, and then all of the campaign might be enough.
Take a wee rest.
But I kind of start to understand things a lot better the second time I've done them, so I might just get it more on my second run through. Getting another leveling, getting another character leveled when we still have, you know, plenty of time on the beta might be a good plan.
Don't stand in them.
Leveling on your first character is annoying. Finished the campaign 78. Went back to the Isle of Dawn and was only getting 2k experiences quest rewards. Yeah, because the first time through, there's level bandings, isn't there? So. Which is a problem. It's going to be a problem unless they balance it so that the campaign is going to be enough. I don't mind the concept of lore mastering on my first character though, because I'm going to do it anyway. You're likely to lore master on your main character just for the rep gains, if nothing else, and just for what it might unlock for that character from the renowns. The first couple of weeks is quite heavily going to be about grinding reputation, I think. Mostly because until the season starts, there's not much for your average player to be doing. As goblins, we've got lots to be doing. We've got characters to level, we've got shit to farm, we've got gold to make. But like, most players don't really feel as if the game starts fully in a couple of weeks. And so yeah, there will be lots of rare farming. There'll be lots of these treasure chests are open, by the way. This is an indication that you can only open these ones. Yeah, I think the rep grind will be real at the beginning, which means you'll want to complete every quest in every zone anyway. That said, do I want to spend early access doing Lore Master? I don't know. Would I rather get one to 80 and then get another one to 80? This is why I kind of want to level a couple of times, just to kind of get to grips with that side of things a little bit more. Are you a rare? Oh, you're a rare, look. Wise to Lore Master at the start whilst you're OP. Well, there is... Well, yeah, you're kind of limited to how effective you can be for how long, though, because you're going to very quickly get level, like... Once you get above level 76, you start actually, your advantage from having good gear going into it starts to drop off pretty fast. Ooh, what did you have?
Let's have a quick sit.
While in combat, a magnetic loader has a chance to assist you, pulling enemies towards it for 5 seconds and exploding. Okay.
Those webs will summon Rubians. Don't stand in them. Here's your take of the spoils.
Probably go all in on the first, as I always do.
Still got it.
I find it so difficult to stick to a strategy at the beginning of expansions, just because everything is so new and shiny. And the best thing for me about the start of an expansion is how quickly everybody's focus changes from doing one thing to another. For example, for all we know, there might end up being some massive, great big, like, bear farming train group finder shenanigans or something that you'd be foolish not to engage in. This is the thing, right? At the start of an expansion. Sometimes it is just best to do whatever the cookie cutter meta thing becomes. Because you're going to struggle to do it anywhere near as effectively after. Hunts, for example, is probably a good Dragonflight suggestion of that. If you did your hunts in the first couple of weeks of the expansion, you were set for the rest of the expansion. You didn't have to think about them. Same with like when the storms first came out and things like that. I guess the takeaway from this is if we're going to play 12 hours a day for the early access, there's plenty of time to do plenty of things. It's not about the. It's not about so much not having time to do everything, though. For me, it's more about prioritizing what do I do in, which order.
Good find. Let's see.
Do some junk. Quick repair.
I need a target. Nice fight.
Oh, this is the dude that summons and pulls things in and then does a bunch of damage. Okay, I see. Oi, Bran, come do some mining.
Hey, that's too far away.
Over here being busy. Bran, do some mining. 2 pieces of quality 1 bismuth. We are making money. Bran should loot for us as well, by the way. That would be a very nice thing to have. Bran should run through and do all the looting for you. There's also part of me that's kind of quite going to enjoy the fact that the expansion is going to launch way before Christmas this year. Having the game launch like very end of November means that the Christmas period kind of like interrupts my first play. I play very hard for the first couple of weeks and then, festive period gets in the way a little bit. Mostly because, surprise, surprise, whilst I do love playing this video game, family and Christmas and stuff is a much higher priority.
I need a target.
I'm much more happy to spend the early part of or the latter part of summer and the early part of Oh, you get hit by the car. Nice. How do I not get hit by the car? Do I have to stand on this? health quick time. Hang on, let me actually shut up for a minute and concentrate. Pet do pet things. Alright, dodge mine carts. Oh, he pulls the mine carts. Clever. We can kind of see where they're coming from. I might be fucked here. Damn. Okay, let's try that again. Would you recommend having one character as mining and herbing and the rest were crafting professions? I mean, I'd recommend that regardless anyway. Only, you know, only waste your time farming though if you really need the gold. Since the start of the expansion is the most... Sure, you can make a lot of gold very quickly, but getting progress on your professions, as was shown in Dragonflight, you got early progress on your professions, you were able to carry that advantage for a long time. You spent all of your first couple of weeks, months, whatever, herbing and mining. You somewhat run the risk of losing out on progression with your professions. We don't know what the catch-up's going to be like this time around, though. I'm pretty convinced they're going to have to do... These NPC work orders are going to be our catch-up system of sorts. So that maybe you have a little bit more flexibility from that. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of farming anyway, because doing like an hour's worth of just flying around mundane isn't my thing. Hang on. I really need to focus on what's going on here. Hang on. Bran, you're meant to be doing healing stuff, my mate. Let's nuke him down now. Those little healing potions he spits out don't do shit, do they?
Nothing old Bran can't get. You're looking a bit rough. Take a wee rest.
Oh, they're like healing over time potions. They're not even like okay, that might be why. Yeah, basically, yeah, obviously having a character with herbalism and mining means if you ever want to go out and just make some quick and easy gold by farming materials, you can. It's not a... Ooh. What is this? Ooh. Funky back piecelet. Nerubian spine. Nice. Oh, bountiful one. Unlock. Yeah, okay. Bring to the world soul memory to experience the radiant memories of Azeroth. Unbreakable idol, combat curio. Bran. 564 3 out of 8 explorer gloves. Don't look up wearing that. Yeah. Oh. That's an upgrade too. My gear is still absolutely stinky. What level's Bran now? I should have checked. Farming all the cash we can find in Ashgahet seems like something we're going to need to pay attention to. Yeah. Yeah, professions are looking like... Most professions are going to have some pretty solid use for that stuff. Some more so than others, but... Oh no, I died. That means my flipping potion's broken. Give me a daytime potion again. There we go. Can't stand it being midnight all the time.
Work cycle interrupted. Say,
Retrieve some
you
pearls.
must remember both.
Root weapon crate.
The Titans will
Okay.
return. Be ready.
Oh, this little area looks like a prime candidate for some 2x4 farming, by the way. You know how you kind of get that feeling about a zone. These mobs drop a quest item. These things are going to be forcibly hyper spawning. Oh, these things look like those rare things we're farming in Najatar. They've taken half of the Najatar zone and just put it into the war within, and they're going to hoping nobody notices. Not that Najatar was a terrible zone. They've definitely borrowed a lot of assets from Najatar. Why is Pet not doing pet things? Probably because Pet's dead. That's maybe part of the... God, I'm still either fast asleep or half hungover or both. I am really struggling this morning. What's broken here? Blizzard map canvas. TomTom's breaking it. The item icons for professions are really dropping the ball in this expansion. Most of all the fish icons from old expansions. Well, there's nothing like objectively wrong with reusing our assets. That said, last beta build they updated a lot of them. You got to remember that there's huge amounts of stuff that's probably considered placeholder until until it's not. They updated a lot of the jewel crafting icons a couple of days ago. They look a little bit neater and tidier now. Oh, I kind of forget that I'm still like fresh level 70 geared here. You're an asset. Thanks, man. Welcome in, Jack. Good morning, good morning. Mikey, welcome in. 4 pearls. On here. Have a crate. Target needs to be in front of me. Hello? Five. Yeah, there's definitely the same feeling of like being strong then weak before you get strong again. I'm wondering what Blizzard could ever do to like rectify this, because it's something that's new, like every single expansion. Every time they have this weird feeling of we level up, and it's got to do with scaling, and I don't know how they can solve it, but the fact that we go from feeling like crazy OP, the weak source, to then have to regain our strength again feels odd. Just turn off scaling, problem solved. Well, yeah, I do. There is part of me that thinks that going back to the ways of having level appropriate zones. Why not have 2 zones that are considered the leveling zones and then 2 zones that are considered the like level 80 zones? My perspective is that the only real reason we have this like scaling on all of the zones is so that all of the zones can then be used again once you're at level 80. Because leveling zones, obviously, once you out-level them, it's different. Well, the only thing that they did previously is they would put level 80 mini areas in those zones, I suppose, but... It would be nice if they could fix it, because you got to remember, this is meant to be an RPG. The role-playing side of getting weak before, you know, having to get super weak to then try and regain some of your strength back feels odd. Especially when we're consistently being referred to as the hero. Not feeling all that heroic when I kill 3 mobs and nearly die. Who's this fella? I don't think I meant to pull you, did I? The RP is that the NPCs go to the gym and get giga buff while you're leveling in other zones. Yeah, while I'm wasting my time saving the Earth, or saving the planet, they're off getting swole drinking protein shakes. Love that. Great. Fantastic. From killing gods to flipping escort missions again, yeah. Literally, from saving the world to escorting. Damn. Is he regaining his health? What's going on here? Absorb a shitload of damage, can't be stunned. Okay. I don't know if I need to kill this dude for any reason, but I'm just killing him just to see if I can. His flipping shield, though, is causing me more problems than anything else. He casting this shield, or is he? What's he doing? Tidal barrier. There we go. There we go.
I need to target something first.
Part of the original reasoning for scaling was to expand the usable area that everybody could spread to ease out the server load. Doesn't feel particularly heroic in a raid or outdoor boss when you're trying to outrun the fire and can't jump over a rock. Yeah, scaling, like, for the most part was... When did we first start to see scaling kick in? Warlords of Draenor? I think it was Warlords of Draenor. 500 Dornogle rep, if nothing else here.
To speak again.
Urgle Lurgle. Right, you're squished. Legion, it let you go whichever zone you wanted to. Well, adventure mode is kind of, you would have thought adventure mode being something that you unlock at level 80 would smooth that process out, but it only smooths it out for that one character ever. Every other character you then have like full scaling kicking in. Feels odd for. I think more and more though, people are starting to dislike scaling. It was a clever system initially. It meant that, you know, there'd be going from never having any scaling whatsoever and very forcibly being pushed into like 1 or maybe 2 zones when everything else was just nullified by the fact you out-leveled it. After years and years and years of that, it sort of was cool, I suppose, to then be able to go anywhere and have the zones feel like there was some challenge in there. But I think can we put it down to a tuning thing? Could we say if they tuned it better? Or how could they tune it differently to make it feel better? You should still be able, like, what if they just scaled the mobs to like 2 levels below what yours are, for example, rather than the same level as you? It would mean that you would instantly be able to still feel over. You would have a reasonable time to kill. It wouldn't completely neutralize being in those zones. But where now it feels like if you go back to an old zone 5 hours later after like doing the campaign through that zone, and then all of a sudden basic bitch mobs that you were just slaughtering previously all of a sudden present a challenge to you, and you're like, why are you presenting a challenge to me? I've gained 3 more hero talents. 3 more hero talents. I've gone 100 item levels up in gear. Now all of a sudden you're doing more damage to me than you were when I was last here. What gives? Remix was a farce getting towards level 70. Well, Remix showed the worst case scenario, because they clearly balanced Remix based upon your potential ultimate power level, and didn't really, when they retrofitted it for the rest of it, didn't really go back and check what your power was relative to the world around you at different points. If you never put it, if you were at 346 item level in Remix, you were just getting your ass handed to you left, right, and center.
Journey far and safe.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still a whole bunch of areas for me to complete over here. Walled soul memory and echoes of Azeroth's past is materialized. What's this then? Right, somebody's killing something, but I can't see what it is. Please release a radiant echo to experience these memories. You'll be granted visions of Azeroth memories for 5 minutes. Okay. Beat as many hostile visions as possible. Coffer key shards, 3. Bunch of rares spawn. Oh, this is quite cool. Wow, Pet got absolutely destroyed though, mind. I miss Plunderstorm, said no one ever. Plunderstorm was cool though. I know it got a lot of flack. But I think Plunderstorm was really cool. I know this is probably one of those kind of like no shit duh kind of moments, but it felt to me like most of the hate for Plunderstorm came from people that didn't like it. And to elaborate on that stupid comment, it basically meant that the people who didn't like it and were violently complaining about it seemingly had significantly louder voice than everybody else that thought it was quite cool and just played it quite, you know, without taking it too serious. Oh, there's no flying in this area. It was about the right length, though, I think, Thunderstorm. It's a good thing it didn't go on for, like, ever. If it went on too long, it would have been a problem. Hang on, if I die in this zone, it's probably not good news, is it? Think about that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, I'm on the clock, and I can't fly. Ew, that's gross. Ah, flipping TomTom's crashing my UI. Thunderstorm was nice, but shouldn't be connected to sub. Oh, you mean it should have been a free-to-play thing? Because that's Blizzard's prerogative at the end of the day. Streamer minions were on the warpath if you said anything even neutral about Plunderstorm, because their heroes were defending it since there was going to be a tournament. Oh, I don't know. Weirdly, I tend to see most streamers actually quite liking Plunderstorm. I didn't think there was much discourse, honestly, coming from like the streamer or even YouTubers. I think generally considered it was pretty good. It was a good way of showcasing just how many players don't play like end game high competitive stuff. Because all of a sudden, when they all came out the woodwork complaining that farming plunder was far too much like hard work, they drowned out everybody else. It was you know, all of a sudden, thousands of people that you've never heard from before in your life came out of flipping nowhere. I have 12 seconds left. Okay. I really didn't take much advantage of this one, did I? This feels like something you kind of probably meant to do as a group. And I bet I can't do this very often, can I? You don't have any radiant echoes. Okay. Alright, well I guess we can get radiant echoes presumably from world quests at some point. That may be how it works. Okay, we'll figure that out next time. Blizzard smart, they'll make change to the name Plunderstorm to Warcraft Royale. Make it a standalone game and free. Sell skins. Bet all my money it'd be a success. Potentially. Maybe that's the approach they should have gone with in the first place.
Excavating here might be dangerous, but unraveling the Earthen's past and decoding the Titan's designs is crucial.
I mean, as far as battle royales go, it was also quite unique, you know, because most battle royales we've seen across the gaming industry generally have been like gun related, meaning that you don't bring a knife to a gun battle, do you? So what they managed to do with Plunderstorm, which I think was quite good, was incorporate some value into melee, which a lot of other battle royales out there haven't really seemingly been able to do. I mean, the fact that Firestorm was literally like best in slot ability. In that regard, it was quite unique. They should do the same, but with a mobile game similar to Tower Defense. Yeah, literally Rumble. Rumble had a new build last week, I think it was, where they added an EXE into the game files. The Rumble is definitely nearly coming to PC. It's nearly there. And dare I say, once it hits PC, I might contemplate going back and playing it a little bit. Since then it probably shouldn't have the aggressively annoying loading time issue that I had on mobile. I've not kept up with Rumble though. I feel bad because I had all the best intentions for Rumble. Going into it knowing full well it was pay to win. I tempered my expectations of it, but then just got massively annoyed with how long it took me to get into a single game every time. And just could not devote time to trying to overcome that. Plus, they made some ludicrous decisions, like jacking up the difficulty of the AI. Very obviously try and slow people down. Oh, 97%. Give me something to kill. Something to loot. Boom. Beautiful. Tuskar's increased by 400. Getting Tuskar rep. If you haven't noticed, I'm just kind of half trying to clean the map right now. We'll just see what comes our way. Oh, I've lost my daytime potion again, haven't I? A rare.
It's still recharged.
Ooh, an upgrade. Try some herb mining in the beta. Nodes feel sparser compared to Dragonflight. I've not tried any herbalism or mining yet.
What is your
This is a prime character for me to maybe pick up herbalism and mining on and do some testing though. Considering tailoring and tailoring and inscription are completely busted. Unless we get a build tomorrow that fixes them, I guess it's about time to maybe start looking at the
Our forged paths intertwine.
the gathering stuff. Maybe even pick skinning up. Humble's not too bad in that respect, but I hate every time I go to play it, it has a 300 to 500 megabyte update. Defeats the point of a mobile game that I want to play on the go. That's true. Luckily, I live in a country where I have basically unlimited internet wherever I go. So I couldn't care less about big updates like that. I'll happily download those via mobile. Doesn't make a blind bit difference to me. But yeah, I see your point though. Fungal Folly Delve completed on any difficulty. Go do that one then. We'll do another delve, shall we? Ha! You're supposed to... Yeah, I can confirm it's real, yeah. There is some very questionably named foods in Finland. The Delve of Nightmares for hunters. Is it? What's this one? Oh, we could technically be doing tier 3s now, actually, by the looks of things. See what Brand's got. Utility Curio, Relic of Sentience. When Dwarven Medicine is consumed, there's a chance for Brand to throw an additional potion. Okay, sure. Brand spells and abilities have a chance to awaken the idol, shielding injured players for 15% of their missing health. When any player's health falls below 40% during combat, the idol awakens, dealing moderate physical damage to enemies and taunting them for 4 seconds. During combat, Brand designates a player to guide his shot. I don't like that one. Alright, let's go Unbreakable Idol. Brand's level 6. Oh, shit. Okay, well, I guess we go down here now then. Is this the get back up rope? That's the get back up rope. Oh, it's all the jumping, so path petting does pet. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. Playing with some fishing earlier, seeing what goodies I could find. Dark Moon cards and fishing skill items were nice. Yeah, I weirdly suspect that fishing might be the path that they're going with for flipping Dark Moon, which is wild to me. I guess it gives a good reason for everybody to level up fishing nice and early though. because it's looking less and less likely that scribes are going to make Dark Moon cards. And even if they do make Dark Moon cards, the fact that you're going to be able to fish them up is still likely to put fishing pretty high up on the list of things that you might want to spend some time doing at the beginning of the expansion, oddly. There's also a shitload of different fish from what I've seen. Maybe we'll dedicate an hour or two of doing some fishing sometime soon.
Found a bit of gold.
A secret treasure? Doesn't look very secret to me. Oh. Secret in terms of the fact that it's not actually a treasure. Sneaky. Ah, no, don't go pulling more. Oh, flipping out. Oh, well, that was my fault, wasn't it? Oh, God, I got squished. Oops. Let's try that again, shall we? No seams yet. I've barely seen nodes. I'm relying on the knowledge of others, really. Bran Bronzebeard has left the instance group. Oh wow, Bran's even left me for dead this time. Has he actually, or is he coming back? He still claims he's here. What's going on? Maybe we have to get back to where we were. Bran? Come in. He doesn't seem to want to turn up, does he? Bran, you come in? Nope. Nope. Bran, you dum-dum. Okay, let's just hope he phases to us in a minute then. Ah, there was no way my pet was dead before I got that cast off. Okay, stupid dungeon. Stupid. Oh, now Bron comes and says hi. Useless. Yeah, another one of the reasons why I'm not too bothered about... Huh? Hey, Bran's out here soloing shit now. I also don't think that herbalism and mining has very much been implemented properly yet either. I've had a lot of people say that, like, some zones have, like, 99% of their nodes up all the time. Some nodes have nothing. Half the materials don't even show in some places. I don't know anybody that's tried skinning yet, so I don't know what the situation is with that, but... What's this thing? Keep moving to avoid the decay. What's this meant to do? Does this do something once it's run out of decay?
There's treasure close by.
Or is this actually, does this become the treasure? No, it just disappeared. Okay. Sure. Sometimes I feel so dumb in this game. Ringing Deeps has like 30 flying fish nodes and a bunch of stuff in the walls. It's not... Yeah. It's funny, right? Because I don't even bat an eyelid when I see that sort of stuff half the time. Yeah, I know to a lot of people, it's like, what the hell's going on? But I'm so used to playing betas and PTRs where stuff is just completely busted. It's... I'm just like, oh yeah, there's a node that's like halfway up a tree. Sure, okay. Just how it works. Alright, respawn point at least. I can safely say I don't think I enjoyed this delve very much. From a purely fun aspect.
Found a bit of gold.
Decaying shrooms dispersed. Oh, we're actually meant to do something with these. This is our quest. Now I should pay more attention.
You're looking a bit rough. Take a wee rest.
Flipping thing. Yeah, green animations on a green floor, Blizzard. What have we learnt about this recently with Remix? Green animation on a green floor. Purple animation on a purple floor. How the am I meant to be seeing what's going on?
Helps a close spores will blow up.
Unbelievable. Done now? Are we good? Okay. Whew. Right, what was that? 2. One up this way. Press the button and tell... Yes, yes, I know. Press the button, boys and girls. No, I'm aware. There is many button presses done, don't you worry. You seen the new TSM version? Yeah, I wanted to take a little bit of a look at the WoW economy report later today. Samadan's done a bit of a highlight on TSM's beta. Now, I presume that's only a retail thing right now. TSM have, by the looks of things, they're starting to implement a few more commonly requested features, I guess you could say. Looks like they're doing an update to their sniper. An update to their sniper module to put it more in line with how, well, quite frankly, how some other sniper add-ons already do it. So, and some slight tweaks and modifications to some UI elements for TSM. I've not looked into it in great detail yet, but we might have a little bit of a look later. Brand's lurking down here. Where's the last one of these? Down in the middle there somewhere? Brand still doesn't want to seem to follow. Yeah, I hope that TSM from the word go is more usable this time. I think they still struggle with the fact that fundamentally the add-on doesn't function exactly in a way that people would want it to, if that makes sense. The way that the crafting system works just doesn't sync up very nicely with what TSM has to offer now. Like, I still don't feel that the crafting side of TSM is as strong as it ever was, or even could be. It's an absolute monster of an add-on though for like the auction house. Like there's no doubting the fact that the auction house side of TSM is still best in slot by far. And it looks like with this update they are kind of leaning more into that. Updating the sniper add-on, giving you slightly more flexibility with like custom operations and stuff, which is good to see. It's feedback I left the TSM guys a long time ago that maybe with how crafting works now, chasing a solution that might not really exist, especially with how concentration is going to work in like crafting cost of your items is something that you should almost forget about. Because like every single time you press the craft button, you're likely to have a different crafting cost. Whether you create some way to implement like a value to your concentration, but then you also need to track how much concentration was used to make the item. It's all just not really that feasible to do anymore. The age-old concept of craft something as and when it's profitable to craft it, and then sell it for as much as you can, and hope that you sort of hope that by the time you sell your thing for the price you sell it for, that you are still able to sell it for more than what it cost you to craft. The days of being able to like craft a whole bunch of everything and just post it at 20% profit very quickly and easily is probably done. I mean, it's been done for a while now, but I think they're kind of leaning more into the fact that it's done. Main thing TSM was made for is now gone because the materials being region-wide. Flipping them is extremely hard and risky. It was originally a flipping tool, and now 75% of flipping's basically gone. It definitely did excel at that. You know, the fact that it was able to track pretty efficiently what you have bought, what you paid for it, and then obviously later in the day even implementing things like smart average buy price to only, you know, to permanently update what your average buy price was for things was pretty clever. So that, yes, you could kind of buy a bunch of stuff, mostly materials, know that when you go to put them back on the auction house, you can have a setup so that you won't ever post them for a price point that you'll take a loss on them. And so then whatever sells, you know you're making a flat amount of profit on whatever sells. That's also significantly more, not impossible to achieve, but the game is just evolved to a point where that's not really very viable of an option for people. As you mentioned, it's way more risky these days. So much so that I don't recommend it to people. Before, Dragonflight crafting was basically if you don't use TSM, you basically can't make any gold. Well, yeah. There's this constant permanent argument, and I bet if you take a scour through like Wowhead comments on this, you'll find a lot of people that just assume that having TSM should just go away. But they're kind of thinking about it. Well, for starters, they're often very ill-informed, assuming that TSM does things that TSM definitely do in the first place, but secondly, the advantage of TSM is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. Range disturbance. Is that this thing over here? How do we get to this? Do this decay backup. This little thing is just not fun. At least this one's green on a grey background. Ah, damn. Aha. Rare. Oh my god. I read chat for 3 seconds then and got nuked. What actually killed me? Invasive spore cap dot. Okay. Note to self. Pay attention to that.
This Bronzebeard still got it!
This way? I mean, I blame chat, but you know, if I was actually paying attention, I still can't lay all the blame on you guys. That would not be fair. Oh no! Jumped straight into the flipping creepy blob. Oh, for God's sake. Right, you come in, Bran. Don't know any other way I can describe it than both Bran and Pet pathing is just terrible in here. Bran come to play still? No, he's lurking. Well, oh, okay. That's a thing that we need to pay attention to. Oh, he's done a shield. Ouch!
I need to target something first.
Okay. Bouncy shroom allows you to double jump. Love double jump. Love me some double jump. Wasn't worth killing the rare for though. Right, is Bran here? Yeah, no. Let's just go. Let's just try and figure it out without him.
It's not ready yet.
Can we stun Fungal Storm? No. Interrupt Fungal Storm? We'll charge. Let's stay out of that. Green goo on the floor all over the place. Explosion makes them go boom.
It's still be charged.
Get off my ass. Pet to pet things. Lord have mercy. Oh, good. I think we got this. Patience. Patience. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you recommend any class for the War Within? Druid Hunters. Not really any particular class. I mean, I play a hunter just all day, every day. Oh my lord, look at the loot in here. Druids are clearly going to be gathering beasts again. They always are. There's not much denying there. I mean, flipping, what were they called? Evokers gave it a good go. Ooh, upgraded weapon. Yes, please. Bag of gold. Ratha hammerfish. Smack your enemy with the hammerfish to stun them. Sure. Okay. Right, yeah, I can safely say that Fungal Folly is not my favourite of delves. A, because Bran didn't do a flipping spent half his time dead. But more so the fact that it was just tough to navigate. Ordak slain. Who are you and where are you? Yeah, druids for herb mining. And a lot of people.
Constructs once protected the Isle, but this one's program.
I tend to recommend to players that the druid herb mining thing, they are clearly the best at what they do. Because of the instant flight form. But I would also say, if you don't enjoy playing a druid, having one just because druids are the best at that thing is probably not necessarily always the best idea. I, for example, would much rather have herbalism and mining on a class that I know how to play well. Like a hunter has sort of hidden value realistically, because you can solo most nearly everything. Sure, you're not mounting and stuff, but if you need to go spot a rare, kill a rare, if you want to go do some world quests or something, if you're more confident on another class, just use that class. The slight drop in like theoretical optimization by being a druid can be overcome by just being able to play the class that you're playing on better. Now I can only say this pretty much because I've oh, is this the world boss? Okay, we'll leave him the fuck alone. I've never really enjoyed playing a druid, and so although they are pretty good at herbing and mining, I've always had one for that reason. I've also, in turn, very rarely actually spent much time on those characters because I don't enjoy playing a druid. I despise rogues, but leveled an assassin mechanome rogue in Remix and was having a lot of fun. It's hard not to have fun in Remix. I actually love that little mode.
Initiated.
Very clever. No. Paladin heals, bobbles, plus have mining and blacksmithing on it. I've always thought that it's oh, the show's about to start. I've always thought it makes a lot more sense to play a class that you just actually enjoy playing. Because for the more time you enjoy playing something, the greater the likelihood is that you'll play it for a long period of time. I, one, don't enjoy farming, full stop. Two, then secondly, also not particularly enjoy a druid. Means any time I am doing farming on my druid, I'm just having a bad time from the word go. Which means I do it for like an hour and I'm like, nah, screw this, I'm out of here. Peace out.
A messy stage makes for real
Sweep
broken
the
legs.
stage.
Best clean it up.
What are we cleaning? Oh. I just take a brush out and run around sweeping, okay.
We have some play materials that need collecting from the market. Soon they'll outnumber our audience. Give them a graceful exit. Quickly.
Pew, pew, pew. How many of them are here? Defeat a bunch of them. I need to spend a day or two on Remix, you know. I need to, I'm feeling as if I'm within sort of touching distance almost of getting everything from it. Even though I'm not, but like in a couple of hours I can get 100k bronze. And I need to just do that for a couple of days, and then I can put a tick next to Remix as something that I'm happy to say that I'm sort of finished with. All apart from any desire to level a bunch of alts. But I'm somewhat already kind of happy with the amount of vaults I've got anyway.
Time to get creative.
Like you mine and herb walls mounted in the War Within? You can, but much like Dragonflight, you have to spec into it. Now, of course, the advantage of playing at Druid is you basically get that for free, meaning you can spend your early spec points somewhere more constructive. Obviously, long term, it then doesn't really matter.
Show them out.
Once you've got enough knowledge points to have all of everything you want from the trees anyway, fine, but it was not uncommon to make 50 to 100k an hour doing herbalism and mining at the start of Dragonflight. I don't know if this was mostly because so many people were focused on crafting. I must admit, I saw so little sort of early days content produced on urban and mining. Or farming in general, honestly. I'm assuming Student and his team basically cleaned up at the beginning of Dragonflight. Do a heroic Siege of Orgrimmar every day, you'll have enough, everything bought in a few days. Yeah, that's true. Is this going to be considered like one of the events? 2 special assignments completed. Is that what that's going to be? Is this going to be considered a special assignment?
Soon they'll outnumber our audience. Give them a graceful exit. Quickly.
Hour 45 to do. Yeah, if you can blast through all of the heroics on Remix, you can definitely do it in sub 2 hours. Siege of Orgrimmar is basically an hour. However, you swing it just purely because of all of the trash and traveling and RP sections and stuff. Throne of Thunder, as long as you've got a decent group, you can have as little downtime as possible. And then 20 minutes for all of the first 3 raids.
The audience is looking for a show. Let's give it to them.
Doing it. Put the thing in the thing. Okay. A costume. Crowd around the generals and cheer. Oh, we don't actually have to cheer. We just stand and press the button, okay.
We are the ward's top generals.
Affirmative. Our 2 companies are the fiercest in Khazalgar. They cheer for you, my friend.
Generals, we have calculated that we only need one of you. Decide amongst yourselves who will be decommissioned. It is just you and me, Audemars, the last 2 generals.
How long do you think the campaign will take?
So to be here.
The campaign's actually quite short from what we're led to believe. I've not done the level 80 campaign yet. But the leveling campaign, I've actually already started to see some people put in some pretty surprisingly fast times for leveling 70 to 80. People are getting like a level every 20 minutes or so. People are doing it like remarkably quickly.
I am far stronger than you, Audemars. I will prove it.
Your strength alone is admirable. But my strength is leadership. And the loyalty of my troops.
I kind of need to also, once we get some loot table, like once the mob loot tables feel as if they're fully in, it would be worthwhile, I think, at some point going around and trying to find, right, these are the materials for this profession, how do we get them? Where do we get them from? This sort of stuff. If there's anything that's going to be, anything that we sense might be a bottleneck material, we probably need to pay a little bit of attention early on to how we get it. Because if the auction house then explodes in value for something, we have a leg up. Not that like I said, not that I would expect to do much farming myself personally, but it helps. If you know what the farm is for something, you can quite quickly get an understanding of, right, well, how many of these can be acquired like per hour or whatever. Even if you don't do the farming, kind of handy to know what the farm is.
The last remaining general. You will lead the Earthen forces from now on.
Is this little event over then? We win? I'm going to assume that it's
A new
okay.
experience.
Doesn't feel like we got anything for doing that. Maybe it's because we've already done that this week. Okay. That felt a little underwhelming. It didn't class itself as a special assignment. So we still have only done one world quest on our path for this quest. Okay. Alright. Let's clear out some more of these quests.
Communication in. Oh, sorry.
Wonder if there'll be epic BOEs.
Hello.
Something to, well, I mean, Dark Moon cards are likely to actually, Dark Moon cards are likely to tick that sort of quota. If you're out doing any significant amount of farming, you're likely to come across a Dark Moon card or two, which whilst isn't an epic BOE, no, but you know, it's something that could be of value at least.
Welcome out.
I think they don't, like, Blizzard seem to have this love-hate relationship with epic BOEs because of the impact it has on the race to world first.
Goodbye.
I don't agree with that concept, but it's true. But yeah, it's always nice it's nice for there to be something for people to like randomly stumble across that might be worth something. Especially in the early days of an expansion. I love expansion launch. It's literally the best time. There is no better time in World of Warcraft than expansion launch. First couple of weeks are just wonderful. So much craziness happening every single day. People zooming off in different directions doing all doing their own thing. FOMO kicking in hard for everybody. So much gold as well. You play your cards right, definitely. And I think I'm more slowly leading to have, with the 4-day early access, I think I would like to get 2 characters leveled. 2 characters to 80. Preferably 3, but I know getting 3 characters to 80 is going to... I'm gonna cut myself slightly short if I try and do 3 characters to 80 in early access. 2 characters to 80, but all 4 of their professions like fully set up, I think would be a comfortable position for me.
May all paths be open to you. We must take extreme methods to stop the kobolds.
I don't think I'm going to bother doing any sort of significant alt army sort of setups or anything during early access, or even in the first week. I don't think. I'm quite convinced I'm probably going to go a similar path to what I did at the beginning of Dragonflight. Try and get one of every profession sort of up to speed. It does depend somewhat how NPC work orders end up looking. If there's going to be lots of need to be level 80, I guess I'm going to have to get a handful of characters up to speed quickly. But otherwise, I would quite like to get a couple of characters leveled up to 80 if there's need for them. Secondly, get the professions sorted, and then just go back to the main character and lore master, honestly. Just complete everything I possibly can. Clean sweep the map every day. Probably work on a lot of reputations at the same time. I suspect concentration might be the limiting factor a little bit. And I don't mind that so much. Might have good reason to craft a bunch of stuff. And then focus on selling it for an hour and then move on. Next profession. I'm not convinced there's going to be I don't think there's going to be hardly any restrictions on early access. I really don't. I don't think there's going to be hardly anything. There's going to be as little as Blizzard can possibly get away with. Let's put it that way. They'll do the absolute minimum to appease people who, you know, screaming and shouting about early access being a scumbag move. They'll do the absolute bare minimum they possibly can, because they clearly want to sell as many early access copies as possible, right? Where are you going? Hello? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, let's see if pets can do pet things, because I clearly can't really help much here, can I?
I'm out of range.
Good thing it's a hunter, I don't need to actually do any damage. Just let the pet kill it slowly. I'm a firm believer that some of the quests aren't implemented yet. Haven't seen a single quest beside world quests on my hunter. And I keep doing laps. Watch early access just be as it is now. Sparse nodes, buggy nodes, mobs, and then a few days after launch it will be bug fixed galore. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I hope not. I hope that it's... yeah, I really do hope it's just not a buggy mess. The only thing that concerns me is that they seem to be really pushing this early. You know, what would be the what would have been the significant reason? Because the conversation will have clearly happened indoors, right? The conversation would have clearly happened. Like, what reason is there for pushing the expansion to be like, you know, earlier? What's the reason with that? They were doing they had a good thing on the go with like October, November releases. Why have they chosen to make it earlier? Not do anything with these? Oh. There must have been a reason internally why they wanted to make things earlier. And my only concern is in them trying to make it earlier, that it means that they're going to have to rush the launch of it. That's my only real concern. Because the new D4 expansion comes in October. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe something planned for 20th anniversary. Yeah, let's hope the 20th anniversary event isn't just hot fixes for the buggy mess of a launch. I don't know. I'm sure they've got it in order, but I'm you know, they've had this 2-year cadence for so long now. Even shaving a month or two off that gives me, you know, suspicions. Maybe I'm pessimistic, but I really hope that
Is that your wallet? Are you
they have it planned.
Both, I hope.
Impressed with the Prime, thank you very much, appreciate it. Good morning, good morning. Oh god, I've pulled the whole world here. Okay, we're fine. Can my Horde Minor Herbalist put resources into the war bank for Alliance toons? Yes. Yeah, your warband is all of your characters. Every single one of your characters is within your same warband. Horde or Alliance, it doesn't matter.
Tell me, what drives you?
Molten Core 3.0. Another Molten Core event. Another opportunity to get a Hound mount. Maybe.
Hopefully that will finally deter them. But if I have learned anything, it's that kobolds always come back.
Was that not considered a world quest? It didn't seem to give me any progress on this. Was that not a world quest? Now I don't know. Okay, I wasn't paying enough attention to what was going on there. Maybe that wasn't considered a world... Oh, it was a bonus XP quest. Is that what it was? Okay. Do we still need to do another delve? We do need to do another delve. Maybe we'll do this one as it's bountiful. We got enough resources to make another key? No. Oh, random piece of plate gear. That's odd. 454 leather? No, don't really want Feather. Let's do a third delve then. Let's go tier 2 because I'm not trying to challenge myself particularly. Oh, I'm out of coffee. This is not good. Oh, please hold. Unacceptable. Absolutely. Right, Kriegval's Rest. What's this place about then?
Hey, that's too far away.
What we got going on in here? Why would the kobolds want to take all these items? Can you tell me about the darkness? Oh, this is the candle one.
Grab one of those enchanted candles to stay
Let's
safe
pick up a
from the
candle.
Candle gets weaker when you move. Watch your steps.
Stolen keepsakes. One. Kill the big dude.
I don't have a time.
Oh, Bran's got your back.
Oh, 11 stolen keepsakes. Oh, I thought that was only one. Whoops, okay, I misread that. I thought this was a treasure. Okay, there's 2. Well, I guess we grab some of the treasures anyway. Why not?
I'm making
I need
progress.
a target.
The treasure chest over here. Are we going to run out of candle power, though? Is that going to be our problem here? We're going to run out of pet health. That's a bigger problem.
Be careful.
Bran, heal me, you bitch.
Keepers preserve you.
Stupid Bran. Always blame the healer. Always blame the healer. Go straight this way. Chest around the corner here, look. Yoink. 250 crystals.
I don't have a time.
Found a bit of gold.
Alright, can we spot anything else? What's over here? Other treasure.
Close.
Yoink.
Let's
Oh, epic experience. 50 experience for Bran.
I need to target something first.
Nice. Right, we need more candle juice. There we go. Right, we dive deeper. Is blacksmithing still broken? It was a little bit updated the other day. I've not played with it enough to conclude whether it's like better. But it's not ass broken. That doesn't mean it's fixed, but it's less broken. Pets can go do pet thing. I know I've spent a lot less time looking at professions recently, but mostly because I want to get a strong understanding of just what the level 80 gameplay loop's going to be like. We've got all the time in the world to play around with professions. And honestly, much more than my first looks on the professions, I don't really feel like it's a good use of time right now to aggressively play with them too much, because they're still clearly very early. Nothing's finalized with them. Once you've got like a basic understanding of the professions and if there's going to be anything you should pay attention to, once you figured that stuff out, you can kind of put the professions down from a testing perspective. At least until they've got, you know, a few builds have come out, a bit of balance pass has happened, some material balancing is being implemented. Because the stuff you really want to know about the professions, honestly, is what's it going to cost to level them? Is there any item that is going to be... Is there a spec direction that you might want to prioritize going on? And where some of the recipes come from. We've started to see some recipe locations. Not all of them, but start to see a few. Then again, I suspect most weeks, most beta builds will likely see... Oh dear, hang on, what's going on there? I suspect we'll see some quite significant changes each week to the professions. So there should be 2 or 3 videos a week, I think, on the professions generally from this point on. Outside of those, we'll just play the game like we're somewhat meant to be playing it, to see what's going to be interesting to do once we're in and the game's live. Fortunately, the spec trees are a little bit more simplistic this time. There's not going to be quite so much hyper optimization that needs to be done with them. That said, I'm sure there'll be some traps in there. I've already started to think that some of the ingenuity nodes in your spec trees might be traps that people might get suckered by. But I want to see the main thing I really want to see that will, like, is almost the last jigsaw piece of the puzzle for me, really, is I want to see these NPC work orders. Once we see some NPC work orders, we'll start to get the bigger picture on just what the professions are going to look like. It makes me feel that work orders are going to be way less of a primary focus for the professions. Because once you can just basically get NPC orders, you don't have to really care about getting real orders, is the theory. And if they're going to make the NPC work orders a system that introduces the catch-up to players as well, then that 100% reaffirms to me that I'm going to be spending my concentration on auction houseable materials almost 100%. And just completely ignore work orders. Because there'll be no need for me to have to do. I didn't like the artificial need to do them Dragonflight brought with it. It kind of... They were not optional. They seem to be doing better at making them optional this time round. I hope, at least. I really hope. Maybe it's hopium, but we'll see. Where the flippin' hell's my pet gone?
I need a target.
It can't end like this!
Damn you, Bran.
Grab one of those
Oh,
enchanted
wait, what?
candles to stay
Grab the
safe
candle.
from candle gets weaker when you move. Watch your steps.
Half my gear's busted. I didn't even notice that because it's hidden behind my quest thing. Whoops. That's another thing from playing Remix. Kind of forgot about repair costs. I know they're in the game for a good reason. There's also part of me though that thinks that repair costs are really, really old system in the game. Is it really all that necessary these days? Do repair costs really take so much gold out of the game that they have any impact on the economy whatsoever? Is it just more of an annoyance? Does anybody really feel it when they have to repair, you know? Oh no, I died. I can't afford my repair. Like, it doesn't seem to make any sense anymore. Seems like a 2006 style problem. Probably only the hardcore raiders. Well, even then, I don't think they care because they just buy a token, right? Or it's covered by guild funds. Oh, I got cooked by the fire. What? Give me my... I had a guildmate who was so broke, couldn't afford a repair bill, had to finance the dude. I would have just told him to go do, like, log on and do a world quest. Like, I don't understand it. Like, genuinely don't. He was lazy as hell.
Stronger by the second.
I certainly wouldn't be digging anybody out of that hole. They dug it, they can climb out of it. Ouch. Right, let's get this delve finished, and then we might take a little bit of a look at the WoW economy report for the week. Have a little look at what this Trade School Master beta is and what they're doing to update the add-on. I like to see that they're working on updating the add-on actually before the World War Within comes out. I'm historically pretty critical of TSM. And one of my criticisms of recent has been that they're way too slow to react to any changes. But this seems to be a proactive approach from this time, which is nice to see. If they can maybe get it implemented and get ahead of the game a little bit for the launch of the new expansion, rather than a new expansion turning up and then it being 6 months before the add-on's usable, would be very nice to see. But this is also the advantage of like the Dragonflight system being copy-pasted into the new expansion. There's not that big hurdle to overcome. Oh, pet's dead. Whoops. Oh no, put me down. Ah, where's me candle? No, give me me candle back.
I need a target.
I've just remembered I'm not meant to be running all that much, am I? There's a candle business. Grab another one. Right, nuke his ass. Nuke his ass. Down he goes. Woo! Okay. Treasure. Treasure!
Nothing old Bran can't get through.
A new rousing order loot system. Not in the same sort of fashion. There is some elemental type materials. But they're not as heavily used as they were. Not so heavily used in crafting, meaning that they shouldn't, at least the way that they appear, be quite as impactful on crafting. Deploy a wind wrangling spire that grants 20% movement speed to all allies nearby for an hour, only usable outdoors. 1 hour cooldown. That's interesting. 20% movement speed to everybody for an hour. $564 neck piece, yes please. Light touched idol. When any player uses a defensive ability with a cooldown of 30 seconds or longer, the idol activates and heals them for 1% of their health every second for 10 seconds. Okay. There could be some interesting like combinations of brand stats that players might choose to use. If you are going to do delves in a group, that is. Not so much if you're doing it solo, but... Okay. Is that our 3 delves complete? Yes. Could turn this in then. So we'll get us one of these pinnacle caches.
Loads
Here you go, Bran.
knowledge are within our grasp.
What's in this bad boy then? 450 cash. 900 resonance crystals. Gem-studded band of the Aurora. Veteran gear. Gem-studded band of the Aurora. Gem-studded signet of the Harmonious. Lovely stuff. Right, what else is on our map then? Sky Racing, the Wold Ways. Sky Racer's purses again. Complete 2 world quests in the Isle of Dawn to unlock. 4 days, 16 hours left. Special assignment Titanic Resurgence. If we need to do 2 world quests, I guess we should go do the Sky Race then, maybe. Give that a go. Want to unlock this special assignment, see what the hell this is. Since we need to do... Since we've got this quest for Pinnacle Cash as well. It's night time. Can we un-night time it? Okay. Oh, here it is.
It is a bright day with exceptionally favorable winds. A perfect day for a race.
Let's see if this is let's see if these are 500 gold apiece again. I suspect they will. I don't see why they'd have changed. What? Hello? I think it must have hit something. Wow, literally sending me straight into a rock round that corner. Boom, there we go.
I can see that the 2 of you will soon be formidable competitors.
500 gold in the purse? 236 gold. Wow, 236 gold and resonance crystals. Have they nerfed dragon race? Clearly too powerful. Nerfed dragon races. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Not that they were, not that they were exactly lucrative in the first place. Even at 500 gold apiece, I couldn't recommend people go and do them. Well, that's that might need a little bit more testing.
You got the good stuff, man.
Time is money, friend. Hurry back.
Oh, wow, wow. We got another dragon race on the map somewhere. Go find another dragon race in another zone. In a minute. But if they've nerfed dragon races, whew. Give feedback, report it as a bug. Paragon chests removed the 1k and only have pet charms now. Or test Paragon chests. Might have to start getting those mission tables back on the go. I wonder if the resonance crystals are like a first time completion thing, and then they, instead of, because it still looked like they were balancing the rewards to equal roughly the same, but because it gave resonance crystals instead of just all gold, maybe they halved the gold to give resonance crystals as well. Not sure how people would take that particularly. They don't want Dragon Racing to outcompete Delves in terms of gold. Oh god, might be right. Glyph around here somewhere. Map's beeping at me. There it is. Honestly, if they nerf gold from Dragon Races, I don't think it's the end of the world. I never was that much of a fan of recommended people doing them, spamming them on all characters anyway. That said,
I'm out of range.
there needs to be, and this was something I said going into Dragonflight, there needs to be basic ways for people to make basically enough gold to play the game comfortably. Like, there's always that concept, right? If you play the game enough, you should just have enough gold, right? They don't want to create an economy where the only way to sizably have enough gold to play endgame is to buy tokens. As soon as they do that, like, it creates long-term problems. At the same time, they don't want playing the game to reward you so handsomely with gold that we get rampant inflation. So they have to kind of be a little bit careful with it, but I think we need something that replaces gathering as an easy option for players to make gold. Because they've made... Now gathering is basically a crafting profession in terms of you have to keep up with your knowledge points for it to be competitive. Gathering was always that thing that had the advantage of it not being a competitive side of things. If you wanted to be competitive, you could be competitive, and that's where your crafting professions came in. Gathering was something where you didn't have to worry about the competitive nature. It was just simply, if you spend an hour doing it, you get X amount. Now, the problem is with gathering having spectries as well, albeit I think it is still better for the professions generally. The problem is that if you don't do your little bit of gathering every week, you pick up your herbalist and miner, you fly around for an hour and you pick up literally 2,000 gold worth of stuff, all of a sudden you're like, well, that was fucking useless. So, world quests, dragon races, that sort of stuff, even though they're not, you know, not great from a gold making perspective, but they should at least give you a trickle enough of gold so that you can comfortably play endgame. you are consistent with. Fire honey. Are we dipping into the scary level 80 area? Honey fused droplets, coalesced living honey. You. And then the world quest in the Naran Plains, the arena, 1600 gold in 1 minute. As long as there's a few things like that. There has to remain a few things like that. Because you don't want to strangle the entire economy. And again, maybe they do. The Mataji is super busted with a full build. Literally can turn 20 of anything into infinite reagents over time. I don't think there's ever a positive feedback loop with it, though. That they should and will be super careful about making sure doesn't happen. You know, if you could take 20 materials and turn it into 25 of something else. I mean, 5 materials a day is not going to break the economy, sort of thing. Even if there is like that subtle feedback loop. Wait, down? How do we go down from here? Oh. Oh, this is actually a giant dude. Oh, I didn't even realize. I thought that was a flipping island. Whoops. Master G will never be Q3 guaranteed, so it'll always be limited, which is fair. Yeah, that's also true. I do wonder if there'll be people that will just dump their concentration in it as well. To make some Q3, you know, once, just for some random Q3 mats to sell every day. It's a bit difficult to figure out what the sort of the long-term goal is going to be. It looks cool though. I was definitely singing Alchemy's praises. It looked pretty good. 2 rares around here. Didn't mean to pull you, but are you the rare? Oh, the rare's down there. Get rid of these then first. You out the way. Accidentally be fighting you guys while we're trying to kill a rare. I think this rare fucked me up when I was like level 72 or something. Stumbled across this rare. Sizzling Cinder Pollen. The Meadery might have a use for it. Binds to Warband. Bee farming currency? Wow, that thing boomed, didn't it? This isn't even the rare, this is just one elite. Alright, hang on. Ooh, gooey membrane. Off my brain. Oh, I'm dead. Do pet things. Ah, stupid game. Right, this thing only seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time as well. When will we see that sweet Excel guide of yours? There probably isn't going to be much in terms of spreadsheets this time round, honestly. The world of spreadsheet craft isn't so strong nowadays. I mean, there is value to it. You could actually argue there's more value to it this time round than there ever was before, but it's not the approach I want to go with professions this time. There'll be some subtle stuff, I'm sure. I might make my my TSM integrated spreadsheet for like materials and stuff if people want, you know, more of a, having it as a template, for example. Have something that people can do some maths, do their own maths. Maybe for the profession leveling guides or something, we'll see. Not quite decided. Like I said, there's not as much of real need for it this time around. If we do some prospecting data and like milling data and all this sort of stuff, that's often useful for people. So I've much more switched direction to like written form guides on professions than I have like spreadsheets. The profession leveling stuff was useful in Dragonflight, I think. If hopefully this time round we can actually find paths from 0 to 100. We did this with cooking, for example. We went out and we figured out, right, how do we actually get to skill 100 with this? And even though we got sort of like limited at like 50, 60, 70, we found a clear path that will get to 100. I'm hoping they go that same concept with all the professions, and they don't do it where you have to use work orders and have to have very specific recipes. But we'll see. It's another one of those things where there's loads of time, and I'm not rushing it simply because there's not rushing it mostly because there is still a lot that is changing. Until everything's fully implemented, there's not too much use spending lots of time figuring all of that sort of stuff out. Where the flipping hell do we go for this world quest? It's underground somewhere. I'm half assuming it's in a cave round here somewhere. This place is scary. Is it in here? No, this is just a tree. Where the flipping hell are we going for this? Oh, what's this? Aha! Kill some bugs. Maybe don't pull everything. I need one more Nerubian. Kill me a Nerubian. This should be a world quest that then unlocks this special assignment thing. I'm intrigued to see what this ends up being.
That's that then. Can you imagine?
Special assignment unlocked. Check your zone map for details.
Cinder brew?
Nice. Okay. So, oh look, it's got its own cool little icon. Eroded Titan construct. Slain obtains supercharged Stormrook. Okay. Just, is this, what's this going to be like then? How's this different from a regular world quest? How is this a special assignment?
Another of the Titan's constructs has been sighted approaching the shore. Stormward Lufsala has sent a rook you can use to take it down.
Okay. How do we slay it? Whirling Surge to heal. Oh, okay. It's not dying. How do we... Hang on. Oh, you steer, I'll shoot. Now we're talking. Protects itself and its rider from all damage. The Stormrook heals itself and its rider of all the damage with an electrical pulse. Okay. Dead. Okay. It didn't like that, did it? Try that again. Yeah, busted. I'll do some shooting. Pop a shield. Heal itself. Okay. Several flaming orbs every 10 seconds that inflict fire damage. Is this going to be what it is? We get like one pass at it. Okay. Okay. It really doesn't like it if you... Yeah, okay. Whoops. It's faster if you use Sky. It's more than faster. It doesn't work if you don't. Let's try this another way, shall we? If you shoot, you get DC'd. Do a drive-by on him. Need to shoot a little bit earlier, I think, don't I? This is quite cool, though. This is an interesting way to use flying, and at least that they have put those who are violently against sky riding, sky flying, or whatever the flipping hell they call it these days. At least those that are violently against this have the option to just, like, instead of doing the flying, do the whole quest on, like, passive easy mode. Boom, down he goes.
Well done. The horizon is clear once again. Thank you.
Oh, I got a pinnacle cash just for doing that. Council of Dornogle rep for 200. More cash. 600 gold. 900 resonance crystals. It didn't give us progress on this though. Complete special assignment Titanic Resurgence. Got no progress towards this quest. This means we're going to have a skywriding raid. This looks like a tutorial. You might not be wrong. Yeah. I bet they could very much use use that as a bit of a like, okay, you've had practice doing this now. That could be true. Nobles and middles in Gundaras may be interesting. Odd glob of wax. Dilly dally dace. Just trying to keep my bags in check a little bit, but very easier said than done. Interestingly, even Deep Dweller's Caftan of the Fever Flare, item level 545 requires level 70. These BOEs are wild. That was the Beladar's bounty recipe we got the other day. We've got a bunch of these earth encrusted, or we've got a couple, should I say, of these earth encrusted gems. Soulbound old. Soulbound cloth. Was I wearing a pair of cloth gloves at some point? What a donkey. Oh look, bind on equip. Stalwart girdle of the quick blade. This is another one. Requires level 70. Bind on equip plate. 545 item level. Add this appearance to your warband collection. You just get a straight on use for some of these. Radiant echoes. 545 level 70 leather.
Be good.
Yeah, it's pretty juicy for a level 70. Most definitely. Right, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, boys and girls. I'll be back in 2, and then maybe we'll have a little bit of a look at the WoW economy report for the week. As there's some TSM beta updatey stuff. So let's have a little look. Let's grab the... Where's it gone? Oh, hang on. Okay. Link. Give me 2 minutes, boys and girls. We'll be back and we'll have a little bit of a look at this. Alrighty. Right, let's take a little bit of a look at this then. Trade School Master 4.14 beta. Odd numbering, but sure. Welcome to the 332nd edition of WoW Economy Weekly Wrap-Up. This week we have a massive update from the TSM team with the release of 4.14 beta of the Trade School Master add-on. We also dive into the possibilities of concentration for the War Within, and a quick guide into getting started with the Glyph market over in Kata Classic. My name is Samadan, and I will be your guide through the world of gold making. Have a little bit of a look here then. So, TSM 4.14 beta. Any gold maker with an eye for market prices. In fact, you know what we are going to do? We're going to kill the tunes for this. We're going to kill the tunes for this. Just since it makes more sense to not have background music for this. The devs have been hard at work making improvements with the changing face of gold making since Dragonflight. Have anticipated the needs of their users with some under the hood enhancements. So let's have a little bit of a look then. TSM posted with the launch of the War Within as the launch of the War Within expansion draws near, we're happy to announce the beta test of the 4.14 add-on update to Trade School Master. If you're a TSM Premium member, you'll shortly receive an email inviting you to participate, along with any instructions on how to get started. Additional invites through our beta sign-up page will be distributed on a first in, first out system, so make sure you sign up if you want to get involved. And let's see what they have to play with then. New sniper mechanism. Patch 8.3 in Battle for Azeroth. I mean, that's a while ago now. That's quite some time ago. Changed the way the auction house works fundamentally. Blizzard removed the concept of pages, and since then all items are essentially part of the same pool of auctions for a given realm or region. This caused some changes to the sniper behavior for TSM in retail, which deviates from the original style of sniping that was available in Classic WoW. So to try and close the gap and improve the efficiency and capabilities of TSM Sniper in retail, we've introduced some changes to the way Auction House is queried during a sniper scan. If you're familiar with other sniper-focused add-ons, such as Point Blank Sniper, TSM 4.14 will function in a similar way. So, Point Blank Sniper is one that became remarkably popular. PBS, I think, is made by the same guy who makes Auctioneer. I always get Auctioneer and Auctionator the wrong way around. But the other one. Auctionator, is that the one? And it's proven to be pretty good, right? You make a short little shopping list. And it will basically, the way that it works is it scans the auction house. There is a query you can do. There's an API query that you can do that will basically give you a snapshot of the auction house without giving you all of the details of everything, right? So it's quite a lightweight snapshot of the auction house. What I think Point Blank Sniper does is it takes that snapshot and then it applies a search filter on top of it. So you can quite quickly see if anything new has turned up that you might be interested in. That's what they sort of mean about the fact that this pages system has gone away. The auction house used to be like a book, right? And every new auction was added at the back of the book, like a one big ledger, right? And every page had a certain amount of like items on it, and then that meant that the auction house had a certain number of pages in this book. It doesn't really work like that anymore, but there's an API call that can just give you the minimum buyout price for every item that's on the auction house, and so you can do then a search on top of that minimum buyout to see if there's anything that intrigues you. That's how Point Blank Snipers worked. I presume TSM is now going to use a similar system. So additionally, in retail, you'll be able to apply a sniper operation to the base group. This is the thing that's going to set it apart Because Point Blank Sniper, you were responsible for making the shopping list in the first place. The shopping list was basically the filter. So you would say, right, these are the items, let's say a list of world drop BOEs or something. These are the items I want to search for, and this is the price I'm willing to pay for them. And Point Blank Sniper would just consistently do this like API call to get the minimum buyout price of the whole auction house, and then it'll apply a filter to it, and something pops up, you might be interested in it. Being able to apply a sniper operation to the base group, though, might mean that you don't need that shopping list in the first place. Not so much, at least. You can then simply go back to the old school way of saying, if something is, if something is 1% of the region-wide market price, show it to me. So this could end up being quite powerful if you can apply it to the base group in TSM. Base group in TSM is basically every item in the game that TSM knows about. That's the crucial thing there. TSM needs to know it exists first. It means that it's not so effective when a brand new patch launches, because TSM doesn't know that items exist until they see them, at least for the first time. But this could be quite powerful for it as well, allowing you to snipe items that are not otherwise grouped. So that's like the big advantage there, I think, having the need, or removing the need to have that shopping list of things you want to search for in the first place. Is it just me, or is the sound and image terribly out of sync? I'm just looking at my side. I've not been dropping any frames. Unfortunately, it could be your side. Do a refresh. Do a refresh. Hit F5. Check my Twitch dashboard. We're all looking good this side as well. Okay, well that's quite cool then. Like the sound of that. There's definitely some stuff we could play with that for sure. Secondary realm market data. After region-wide trading was introduced in Dragonflight, we've been exploring how we might be able to enable easier arbitrage between realms, can't talk today, without overloading the add-on with data and consuming all of our bandwidth quotas. As our first step in this arena, we have added the option to display some price sources, such as things like minimum buyout and market value. One other realm you have added to your TSM desktop application into your tooltip settings. Okay. Sure. I suppose this, in theory, then I'm trying to think of the use case scenario of this. Being able to see the minimum price on one other realm at the same time. I guess this is for when you are out shopping. If you are out shopping and you've got lots of characters made on lots of different realms, but you mostly buy shit from other places where it's cheap and bring it back to your home realm to sell it, that's kind of your... If that's how you tend to mostly operate, you go buy cheap shit from elsewhere, you bring it home. I guess what you would do is use this as to say, right, this is my home realm. Then it means when you are on your travels, your tooltips will show you the local prices at the time on those specific realms. And then you'll be able to quickly compare, right, well, is this significantly cheaper here to my home realm? Is it something that's worth me picking up and taking back home, sort of thing? They have said first step in this arena, so there's instantly some things that jump out at me that, you know, one realm is quite restrictive, but you know, at least it's a start, right? So you see here a tree bark jacket, alt realm min buyout, alt realm recent value, alt realm market value. I think my feedback would be that the wording of that might need to change. I mean, I wonder if it can just pull in the name of the realm. Why wouldn't it just say Kazakh min buyout, Kazakh recent value, Kazakh market value? Maybe that gets problematic with the longer realm names. I don't know. Plus, I don't know if it's just me, but instantly I thought that this would be used for your home realm, which you probably wouldn't then refer to as an alt realm. I don't know. It depends how depends how players plan to use this. The wording of this, I don't know. Okay, well that's cool. You can see the market values of 2 places at once. We hope this will enable some arbitrage opportunities with a specific realm that you may have gold making activity on. We understand that discovering and identifying those opportunities is important, and we'll continue to explore supporting that type of analysis outside of the game with our new and improved website suite coming soon. They've been working on a new website for literally years at this point. Even before Dragonflight launched, they were working on updating their website. I wonder if we're going to actually see this anytime soon. Okay, what else have they done? Scrolling table improvements. Scrolling tables make up a lot of the UI of TSM, such as the interfaces for mailing, vendoring, most of the auction house and your profession window. It can take a lot of resources to create and update these tables as new data is loaded or as you take actions within the add-on. So we've spent a lot of time working to significantly improve the performance of these elements across the TSM add-on suite. As well as performance improvements, we've added a ton of new functionality. So drag columns to reorder them. This is kind of handy, I suppose, because more often than not, I tend to think information like seller is way less important to me than what the minimum price is and what the percentage is. So being able to move and switch these around a bit makes sense. A nice quality of life feature. Equally, being able to do it within the crafting windows as well is probably quite useful. Note that the item name column position cannot be changed, and column positions can be reset in the traffic light menu at the top left. Okay. You can't move the name, but you can move the other ones. From this menu, you can now also enable to lock the width of columns in the table so that you don't accidentally resize a column too wide or too narrow. Enabling this option will maintain the current width of all the columns in the table. Sure, cool. Create a group from items showing in a scrolling table. Making groups is often a challenge. Over the years, we've taken steps to make that easier, including the concept of the base group. Spoke about base group a little bit earlier, which contains any item that you don't already have inside a group, even if you don't currently own the item. We're taking that a step further and we're adding the option to create a group containing the items that you currently see in the table. Whether this is a category selected in your profession window, to group items you can craft, or a search on the auction house. In this example, the auction house tab is filtered by using the advanced item search to look for the category of tailoring recipes. I can then select create groups from table to add all of the items into the table to a new group. Note that items that are already grouped are not added to the newly created group. Okay, browse recipes tailoring. Add all into a group. Okay. Anything that makes group making easier is a welcome addition. I don't get it. Well, it's so much of Trade Skill Master is reliant on you making a good set of groups. I, for years now, have like provided players with a basic set of groups. And it is clearly useful enough for people. It's a massive time-saving thing, if nothing else, right? Once you've made your groups, you spend most of your time just tinkering with the operations. The time it takes to get most of the items into your groups, though, is the biggest thing. There was one period in time where I spent ages and ages getting every single old recipe like neatly into groups. I've not kept up with my TSM groups anywhere near as much during Dragonflight, but that's mostly because I don't use TSM for crafting really at all anymore. But groups are still useful to have for then when you go to the auction house to go and try and sell things. Anything that makes putting those groups together a bit easier for people is a bonus, I guess. Looks to be very easy now if you can just use filters on the base group to get things you need. At least that's the way I group stuff. There's also the concept of that you don't really need groups to be that fancy. Because it's more about the you realize very quickly that you might make 4 or 5 different operations, and then you'll apply them to nearly every single item in the entire game. Having everything sub-categorized by like transmog and then mail and then helms, for example, you got to ask yourself the question really quickly that, well, would I buy or would I sell or would I, move those around in such a specific fashion like that? I don't know. But this is a bonus. Any better way of making groups, great. Adding prices or sources as custom columns. Okay. Very common line of feedback when using TSM is to add more information to the UI in order to be able to be better informed at making it easier to make decisions. We have to strike a balance between this to what is usable and understandable to somebody who may be new to TSM, and creating the flexibility to enter data overload territory if it is desired. With TSM 414, we're pleased to add the option to include any standard price or value source as a new column in any scrolling table, such as your auctioning shopping scan results or sniper scan results. This is also extended to include any custom sources that you have defined as a custom column. Simply select the traffic light menu at the top left of any scrolling table to manage which columns appear in the table. So you could add, in this scenario, the vendor sell price as a column. Okay. More sort of like really, I think for most people, this is very, very heavily niche kind of stuff. That's what they mentioned here. A lot of people just couldn't care less. But when you decide that would be useful to have, having the ability to do it is kind of quite cool. But the reality is 9 out of 10 people will never use it. But it's a useful thing to be able to tinker with. In this example, the number of the item currently owned is included in the browse results, so you can decide whether you want to purchase more at a glance. If you're searching for field repair bots, you can now see that we don't have any of these, but you've got 51 of these. That, I guess, is kind of useful. Previously, you might just hover over each item and see the number inventory from a tooltip, having it as a column. More importantly, you could then have it as a column that I presume you can sort by as well. Might be useful. If you're buying things on the regular, you probably set up sort of shopping operations to say, right, I want 200 of these sort of thing. But, it's small little snippets of information that just makes things a bit easier to deal with. Some post from bag improvements. Post from bag section in the auctioning tab of the auction house receives all of the previously mentioned upgrades, including additional price sources. An addition has the new option to add which group the item is in to the table. It's easier to see at a glance what might be worth posting if you have limited time or are learning new markets as part of your goal-making strategy. In this example, the DB recent value and the minimum price from the assigned auctioning operations are shown in context before selecting and posting the items, along with what group the items are in. So you can see here, bunch of stuff in the bags, collected a bunch of ancient formulas. See, they're in the ancient formulas group. And you can also then compare what the recent price is and what your minimum price to sell them is. And you can see here that you're willing to sell them for, you know, let's take Stormwatcher. You're willing to sell it for as little as 8,600 gold based on your auctioning operation. Currently, it's listed at 55,000 gold. So it might not be a terrible time to post this and chance your luck at selling it while it's at a higher price. Admittedly, even after years and years and years of feedback, I still don't recommend anybody use the default auctioning operation. I've tried to tell the TSM guys multiple times that default auctioning operation is horrible, but they still stick with it. It's a catch-all operation, but it's a violently complicated catch-all operation for any beginner to TSM. I think the default auctioning operation could be made much more simpler and actually sometimes should say, no, don't sell this. Like that's, for me, that's the crucial thing with the default auctioning operation. It shouldn't be designed to just sell everything, right? Which is kind of how it feels as if it's set up right now. There should be scenarios where it says, no, you probably shouldn't post this right now, which the default one doesn't do. It'll just post everything. Okay, cool. That can be handy though. If you log on to an alt, quickly go to the auction house. What have I got in my bags that I can sell on that alt sort of thing? Scrolling table settings persistence. All aspects of the scrolling table's configurations are now persisted across sessions, including the column sort order, price values, custom source columns. Okay, so, you can log in and out and it'll all still be there. Cool. Import some IDs from Wowhead. Continuing along the theme of creating groups, historically the group maker was a primary middleman in between searching and filtering Wowhead for items you want to import into the in-game add-on. To make the process even more efficient, we've added support for copying the IDs of any item searches on Wowhead directly into the game add-on. Once you've applied your filter, select the copy button and then click IDs. In this example, the filter is for bind on equip drops added in Dragonflight. Copy all the IDs will include up to 1,000 items returned by Wowhead, and not just the first 50 shown on the page, which was a historical limitation of the group maker webpage. Okay, so up to 1,000 groups, 1,000 items import per group. Okay, that once again, something else makes putting the groups together easier. These are all the things that many players just went and found some content creators groups. So that they didn't have to faff around with all of this themselves. Once copied, import them into the game as you would normally. Okay. Custom strings in more operations. Custom strings are extremely powerful for the main operation types in TSM, such as auctioning and crafting, allowing fine-tuning and ultimate control over what you do and why at any time. We're empowering more operations to support custom strings, which will include things like mailing, vendoring, and warehousing. Previously, these operations generally only accepted integer values, such as sending 20 potions to an alt character, without much flexibility. Now you can create a custom string to only send 20 potions if the market value is where you would consider selling them using such price sources, or restock a particular vendor item if your personal sale rate is high enough using a logic function. Okay, I can see some uses for this. I can see some uses for this, like warehousing, for example. You might probably want to... Warehousing, I think, is the big one, because you might end up having your warband full of all of your crafted items, and you might log on to your bank character, go to your war bank, and say, I want to take anything out to where the DB region price is now above X, right? So you might want to say that I don't want to take anything out of the bank unless I'm going to be able to put it on the auction house. Right now, or as it was previously, warehousing was a bit annoying because you could only like pull out items up to a certain value. Like, okay, I want to pull out 20 potions in this scenario. It didn't make a blind bit of difference if you'd then go to the auction house and you'd not post the potions because they were far too cheap on the auction house at that given time. So I see some more use for this. This is quite a cool little once again, the theme of quality of life features. If you want to go really clever with TSM, you can do more clever stuff, which I guess is cool. Custom source formatting then. Prior to TSM 4.1.4, all custom price sources would be calculated and displayed as a currency. Now there's an option to show a custom source as an integer, a percentage, or a currency as before. Oh, finally. Okay, yeah, when creating... I've had so many custom price sources that are just to provide data that, like, it's 1 point something gold or something. It looked weird. When creating a new custom source, you can specify the format and you can modify the settings for each custom source at any time. Any custom source can be displayed in your tooltips via the tooltip settings. In the following examples, these custom sources use one of each format. First being a percentage representing an average of personal and regional sale rate. Second shows a number representing the max stack size for an item. And finally, the third is a currency averaging various price sources to provide a general price point, a my value price. The average of DB market, DB recent, and DB region market average. Okay, so you can display one as gold, one as an actual number, and then one as a percentage. There. Much more useful. I see. Then lots of other minor little changes. You'll notice the add-on is generally more responsive and snappier as you engage with the pages. Searches or shopping scans in the Browse tab are much quicker due to scan time optimizations. Also, one thing I would point out, one of the reasons that I used TSM less and less and less was for this exact reason. That it just wasn't quicker than other options. General shopping scans were historically very slow, so I just didn't use them. Like, yeah. Mail contact management. It's now possible to delete names from the recent contact list in the mail UI. Get rid of those pesky alts that have been deleted or transferred. Good. There is a new button in the auction house UI to rescan to immediately repeat an auctioning post or cancel scan. Wow! Oh, that's going to be divisive. That's going to split the room. Yeesh! That's going to split the room. Oh, that's going to split the room. New button to be able to rescan to immediately repeat an auctioning post or a cancel scan. Now, obviously, you still need to post or you still need to cancel manually, but the fact that it will just do it and then rescan as soon as it's finished. Okay, for that sort of, yeah, for Dracothis selling, for selling one Dracothis at a time consistently for as long as you have a bag full of them. Yeah, okay. Well, it sure seems like there's a few little things. Now, there's a lot of this that most average TSM players won't use. The only real big feature update, I would say, is actually the sniper mechanic. Something that I think was way overdue and has historically been covered by other add-ons, now updated. And I was worried that they were going to update their sniper mechanism and just copy paste what Point Blank Sniper did. But the fact that you can apply sniper operations to base group actually then leapfrogs TSM into a good position again, I think. That's the maybe go-to sniper add-on, just because of this fact that you won't need a detailed shopping list first. But of course, if you do have detailed shopping lists in TSM, that at least the sniper then works again for them, which is quite cool. Might put that to test a little bit. We might test that. Generally, you know, those small little improvements all add up, so sure. But more important, does TSM handle quality of mats and crafting stats? I still don't trust it. There's a lot to digest here and many improvements I didn't even know until I needed until they were implemented. The thing with TSM is that information is power, and these updates are huge in terms of being able to customize the information at your fingertips. The extra columns are going to be useful in debugging operations, having information that you need at your fingertips before deciding what to buy. Thank you to the TSM team for their continued dedication in developing the add-on. I concur. Okay, yeah, I think the TSM updates are small but meaningful and in many cases vastly overdue. But nothing that is going to widely change people's use or desire to either use it or not use it. Lots and lots and lots of subtle little changes, which is cool. Let's move on then. The next one is just Samadan has kindly highlighted one of the videos I did last week. If you didn't catch this one, this is just my initial sort of overview of how I think concentration might be used in the War Within. The fact that it allows the small time goblin to take some cheaper materials and craft a few cheap things at top quality to be able to sell them. And, you know, they'll only be able to craft a few, though, so they probably shouldn't step on the toes too much of, like, the big-time goblins that sit there all day crafting and selling things and are fighting to guarantee things at top quality to be able to do so. Give this a watch if you haven't already. There will certainly be thresholds in which using lower quality reagents may result in higher profit margins. It will depend on how spread out the prices of the various qualities of reagents are in reality, according to the above gathering changes. Yeah, this kind of, the logic kind of stems from the fact that they've said that quality 3 is going to be more difficult to obtain naturally. Quality 3 might be more scarce than it is currently in Dragonflight. And with that in mind, then being able to make some quality 3 will arguably lead it to being more valuable, we hope. But this is all a lot of theory until the expansion goes live anyway. Concentration as a resource is something that naturally fills up over time, sort of like a transmute cooldown. You use concentration to get a skill up, and this allows to either hit a 5-star recipe with rank 2 ingredients versus being forced to use the far more expensive rank 3 ingredients. Ergo, the more alts you have, the more concentration you can get, the more you can funnel into low cost yet high quality products. It likely depends on which the War Within profession is easiest to enter into for alts, or which will have the most cost savings, etc. I tend to think people are still looking people are still looking at alt armies in the mindset of that there's only like 1 or 2 things per profession that this might be important for. I don't think people have fully grasped that every single recipe is subject to this design. Now, there doesn't seem to be this scenario where basic materials, anybody can guarantee them at quality 3 really quickly. Everything seems to have very similar recipe difficulties, meaning that different people will be able to specialize in different areas way more. And you, even, theoretically, even 6 months down the line in the War Within, when everybody is fully maxed out their knowledge points, you may still not necessarily have enough concentration to craft cheap everything. You're still going to have to pick and choose. But the point is that you will be able to pick and choose. Dare I say it? I guess add-ons like Craft Sim are going to very quickly be able to tell you what value you are obtaining per point of concentration. And more importantly, they might be able to say that these are the recipes within your profession that give the best concentration returns. And then you will just log on to that character that day, choose to craft the thing that gives you the most gold per concentration spent, and then go sell those on the auction house and be on your way. But the thing that you create might rotate. There might be a much bigger list. Today, it's Dracothis or tailoring cooldowns. You know, you've got 3 items. And so alt armies are consistent of lots of alchemists, or they're consistent of lots of tailors. You could very much, in theory, have an alt army of just leatherworkers, potentially, that all are focused into making the individual crafting reagents. And you just cycle through 5 or 6 leatherworking alts. You make 1 material on each of them using your concentration, and then you have a wide variety of stuff that you can sell on the auction house again. I think the whole alt army approach is going to be very different. And that said, it's going to be very powerful. Definitely going to be very powerful having lots of alts. Classic Cataclysm glyphs. Now, I don't pay a minute's notice to what's going on in Cataclysm, so there's not much I can comment on this really, other than saying, if you are playing Cataclysm, glyphs way back when were a good market. Here's maybe some information on how to get in and on with that, so go check it out. And that is the article then. It was predominantly the TSM stuff. I did have a little bit of a look through the comments, and some of them are pretty funny. Premium member, nice self-exposed, the very first comment on it. Talking about how add-ons must be free of charge, blah, 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 blah. Trade School Master has, on many occasions, like they've not directly worked with Blizzard, but to assume that Blizzard aren't aware of what's going on, like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Just ridiculous. So many of the add-ons are sort of, the comments are pointing in that direction as well, jumping on the fact that there's a premium option to it. Madness. TSM is automation. Third-party app that sort of combines keystrokes. TSM is the opposite of one action, one key. Offers many more unfair advantages over non-TSM users and charges for premium. Economy should be much more representative of and healthier for the player base than some monopoly no-lifers not just unloading their 5-digit MOG stash, auto-crafting, auto-posting, and almost ban TSM now. I mean, that's like it's just so terrible, so terrible, massively inaccurate. Just no. That's not a thorough description. Fine, whatever. There was so much of this. Oh, even Gumdrops got in on the party. Simply not true. Yeah, everybody diving in on it being premium. Lol. Don't let facts get in the way of a good argument. Exactly. Yeah. How dare you ignore the facts? Shocking performance, right? Well, anyway, there we go. That was the weekly wrap-up for this week. It's going to depend on the refresh rate of concentration. There will always be somebody with concentration to make a discounted craft. So it's going to be a giant to be decided for non-consumables. Well, the fact that there will always be concentration to spend on some crafter somewhere means that the gear crafting scenario, this is why I'm slowly coming to the conclusion that work orders are going to be way less of an impact this time round, because anybody that ever wants a piece of gear crafted will easily have access to somebody with concentration that can do it for them, even if that same player can't naturally guarantee that top quality stuff yet. Meaning that, dare I say it, the amount of gold that might be knocking about for work orders might not be that high. It depends heavily on how quickly we can level up professions. As soon as you can get even remotely close to guaranteeing a craft, you might find that your concentration is more plentiful. You really need. So yeah, you're right. It is gonna. We can only sort of guess and we can only speculate until the game goes live. But fun times ahead. Fun times ahead. I'm going to leave it there for today, though, boys and girls. We will be back tomorrow. I actually suspect that tomorrow evening we might get a beta build, a new beta build. They've been quite often pumping them out on a Tuesday. So there might be... We'll probably keep ourselves busy tomorrow, but then later in the day expect a beta build. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit on Wednesday. But in the meantime, I'm going to be mostly doing kind of what we've been doing, such as just playing around on the beta, doing some endgame testing. I might look at leveling up another character. We might go do some gathering or something tomorrow. Explore just how herbalism and mining is starting to look. Over the next few days, there will be a couple more first impression videos. We've still got a couple of professions to complete. I'm at the point where I can probably do enchanting. Enchanting wasn't looking too broken last time I had a look at it, but we'll see. But thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Come say hi on Discord if you haven't already. And much love. I'll catch you all next time. Peace.